Good morning folks. So today we're going to attempt to make our own wooden knobs. Here's a little prototype we made yesterday. I have a piece of maple. We have our maple and mun ebony glued up there. What we're going to use is this 3/4 inch rather fancy expensive plug cutter. So no lathes or CNC machines required. So we're going to be cutting it out of this, and then we've made a little jig to drill the side hole and also hold it in place while we do the centre bore and the part for the shaft of the pot. Yeah, so I'll update you soon. So here's how the first one's looking. And there we have it. 10 beautiful knobs. So the next step is to put these through the bandsaw and separate them from the block. So I made sure to square this edge, so when I put it through the bandsaw, they actually all come out nice and level and even. So here we go. So now we're going to use our funky little jig to put all these in, and we'll be able to drill the little side holes, which will hold them in place, so then we can do the centre bores. So we also made a funky little clamping system to hold them all in while they get drilled on the drill press. So they've now been drilled, so we can now screw these little screws in, which are going to hold them in place while we do the next set of operations, which will be sanding them flat so they're all nice and level, and then it'll be doing the counter bore and so on. So next step, we're going to pass these through the sander to make them nice and level. So now we're doing the counter bores. So with all the counter bores done, we're going to do the 10mm hole down the centre, which will accept the insert that the pot shaft goes into. So after we went in with the brad point bit, we only went so far so the brad point doesn't stick out the top of the knobs. Went back in with a normal drill bit without the brad point to the proper depth, and yeah, there we go. So the little side hole that was used to hold them in place while drilling the counter bore and whatnot is then going to be opened out, and that will become the hole that allows you to use one of these inserts, actually attach it to the pot. So we made this little jig to hold them on their side, nice and tight, while we drill out this hole from a 2mm to a 4mm. Here we go. So we're now back in the jig again, so we can do the inlay dots. So this one's going to have green loom inlay, little 2mm dots. Right, inlay time. So this should just push in there, snip it off. And now the inlays are in, and just quickly sanded. Now we've got to fit some inserts. So folks, the next step is to get this little brass insert into the knob and have the grub screw line up with the hole we created. So, something like that. There you go, and then we'll glue it in. So, everything we've done up to this point allows us to attach the knob to a piece of dowel and then sand it on the drill press. So after sanding up through a bunch of grips, I'm going to put the first coat of oil on. Should turn out pretty magical, hopefully. So there you have it, folks. First coat of oil on. Looking rather fancy. And then here's all the bits and pieces that we used to get to this point. Various drill bits and a funky little jig. Inserts. So yeah, this may not be the way you'd like to do it, but this is our first attempt. Let me know what you think.